Hello everyone, my name is Tim Abbott and I'm a technical marketing engineer in the security business group at Cisco. I have a short video presentation and demo for you today of context visibility in Identity Services Engine 2.1. In addition to the rich data and greater convenience of the streamlined visibility wizard, ISE 2.1 also introduces context visibility. With ISE 2.1, you gain the ability to aggregate, store, and search high volumes of endpoint data, giving you greater visibility. ISE 2.1 gathers data from multiple sources into one place, and its enhanced database stores more historical data than ever. With ISE 2.0, you could store 1 million endpoints with 15 attributes. With ISE 2.1, you can now store data on 1.5 million endpoints, each with 50 attributes, meaning you get a much deeper level of insight and can use ISE data in more scenarios. Instead of being limited to information on endpoints currently on the network, you can perform forensic analysis and get information on an endpoint that was on the network previously. Another benefit is that all of this information is in one place. The database pulls in information from multiple sources, data that was scattered in many different places. Now, it's all aggregated and gives you much deeper historical view. Lastly, the UI is a lot simpler and easier to use, so you can now hone in on the information you need much more easily. Now, let's take a look at context visibility in ISE 2.1. Okay, so I've logged into ISE 2.1 here, and as you can see, I've got some information on the dashboard. Before we enter context visibility, I just want to show you around the dashboard a little bit. We've made some changes in ISE 2.1. You'll see here that we have a summary dashboard. We have a dashboard that shows information about endpoints specifically. We have information about guests. We have information about vulnerabilities if I have that set up in my infrastructure. And we have a dashboard that is specific to threat information. What's cool about ISE 2.1 is that we also have the ability to create our own custom dashboard. So let's say I want to create Tim's dashboard here. I can go ahead and click on the plus sign, click Save, and what will happen now is ISE will prompt me to select a number of dashlets that I want to have on my dashboard. So let's say, for example, I want to get information on network devices, BYOD endpoints, endpoint categories, endpoints, and let's take a look at, let's say, authentications. That'll be good. Click Save. And here we go. We've got Tim's dashboard with just the information that I want to see. Now, what's cool about this is that I have the ability now to log out, log back in, and this information is going to be persistent. So next time I log in, I won't have to go ahead and recreate that. And if I get tired of it, all I need to do is go ahead and click on the X here, and I will be able to delete it. Pretty neat little feature. So let's go ahead and take a look at context visibility. Here, as you can see here up on the top of the window next to Home, is context visibility, and we're going to go ahead and click on endpoints. And when I do that, it's going to drop me into another set of menus here. You see authentication, BYOD, compliance, compromised endpoints, endpoint classification, guest, and vulnerable endpoints. So as you can see, I've got some information here about some endpoints that ISE has seen on my network. Now, this tab is specific to authentication, so what we tried to do here is give the administrator the ability to look at endpoint information from an authentication perspective. Now what's cool is that we can now start interacting with these charts, and as I click on these charts I see all the information about connected endpoints, and I start getting this breadcrumb trail here. So I've clicked it on connected endpoints, meaning endpoints that are currently connected to my network, and I can continue to work with these charts as well. So let's say, for example, I want to look at the device type here. I can go and look at this as a wireless device. So let's say click on wireless devices, and now the breadcrumb trail continues. Now, as you can see, as I continue to interact with these charts, my breadcrumb trail continues, and also this here completely updates this chart here as well. So that's a pretty neat little feature. And if I want specific information on endpoints, I can simply click on the MAC address here and get more information about it. And here's all of my attributes that I'm collecting. So pretty cool stuff, right? Now, if I want to go back, all I have to do is just click on the endpoints. It takes me right back there, and I have a couple of things. So if I want to completely clear all these filters, I can click this button here, or I can simply just click one individually. So I have a more interactive experience with the dashboard here, so it's pretty neat. Let's go over to endpoint classification, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of information that ISE has collected. I can sort through the tables down here. I can do it a number of ways. First thing I do is sort it by IP address. If I want to, I could do it by MAC address, and it's going to go ahead and dynamically update that information for me as well. I also have the ability to do a couple of other things too. So let's say this endpoint here, that's an Android. I'm going to go ahead and check this box here. Now I've got a couple of options. I can clear threats and vulnerabilities if I have that set up with ISE. I can issue a change of authorization. I can port bounce it, reauth it, what have you. So right from context visibility. Let's say if I have MDM set up here, which I do, I can go ahead and also do MDM actions. So let's say, for example, I'm going to find the Apple devices. So let's say OS types, iOS is what I'm looking for here. My filter starts coming in, and you can see here the table starts dynamically updating. I'll go ahead and click on this. From here, I can actually issue MDM actions. So I can do a wipe, pin lock, etc. So I could also revoke the certificate if I wanted to, right from context visibility. So pretty neat little feature. So before we wrap up this video presentation, I want to tell you about a couple other things. The first one is custom attributes. In ISE 2.1, we give you the ability to define your own custom attributes for use with endpoints. To assign a custom attribute to an endpoint in context visibility, all you need to do is select the endpoint that you want to assign a custom attribute and then click on Edit. Here you get the drop down that shows the policy assignment and the identity group assignment. Click the down arrow here under custom attributes and you will see the custom attribute that I created earlier called asset tag. To assign a value to it, all I'm going to do is click the edit button, give it a value, go ahead and click the check there, and then all I'm going to do is click save, and then once that saves, my endpoint has a new asset value of 10. So my iPhone has 10 for an asset tag. The last thing I want to show you is the ability to import endpoints into the system. There's two ways to do it. To do it, you click on import here, and then you select either import from file. That gives you this drop down where you can generate a template and it lists all the attributes that we'll support for ISE 2.1. Or you can import them from LDAP. So we'll click on import here and then import from LDAP. We get a drop down where I can enter my server information, my username and password, the distinguished name and other attributes, and then I can click submit, and then ISE will begin to import endpoints into the system. So that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to context visibility in ISE 2.1. Be sure to check out our other What's New videos at communities.cisco.com, and thanks for watching.